So, what happens in the very first hour after you open your eyes every morning? Have you ever thought about it? Does that single hour dictate whether you'll stay strong and independent into your 80s and 90s, or if you'll end up struggling with weak muscles and a loss of mobility? Now, I know it might sound like a bit of an exaggeration to put that much pressure on 1 hour, but the science actually says otherwise.
Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're looking at some truly fascinating research revealing that simple, 30-second morning habits can reverse age-related muscle loss faster than any pill or supplement on the market. Honestly, if you want to keep your strength, stay mobile, and feel energized as you age, you are exactly in the right place.
Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The threat of sarcopenia. 2. Fueling muscles every morning. 3. Activating body and environment. 4. Mindset and stress reduction. 5. The power of connection. And 6. Starting your new routine. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1. The threat of sarcopenia, the silent muscle thief.
It turns out there's a specific scientific name for this villain, sarcopenia. You can basically think of it as the silent, age-related process of muscle breakdown that actively robs older adults of their strength, mobility, and independence every single day. If left completely unchecked, your muscles are quite literally breaking down while you sleep. And the scary part? That process accelerates rapidly if you don't take deliberate action the exact moment you wake up. And this contrast just brilliantly illustrates what we're talking about. The typical aging journey often brings a really heartbreaking loss of mobility, overall weakness, and this persistent fear of falling. But then, look at Sophie. She's a 90-year-old woman highlighted in the research who amazingly retains the physical strength of a 40-year-old. I mean, she drives, she climbs stairs without any help, and her secret? Well, actually, scratch that. It's not good genetics, because her family actually had a history of health struggles. Her real secret is a set of highly specific, super consistent morning routine habits.
Moving right along to Section 2. Fueling muscles every morning. Nutrition and hydration.
Okay, get ready for a staggering number. 30%. According to geriatric specialists and longevity researchers at Harvard Medical School, failing to eat protein in the morning can accelerate your muscle loss by as much as 30%. You see, during those long hours of sleep, your body enters a fasting state. Without protein first thing in the morning, your muscles just continue breaking down instead of rebuilding themselves. Now, the research highlights several key nutrients, way beyond just a generic scoop of protein that you need to add to your morning. First up is hydration. Drinking water with electrolytes, like a dash of sea salt and lemon, prevents cramps and stabilizes your nerves. Next, we have omega-3s, which you can get from salmon, chia seeds, or walnuts. Studies show these can reduce inflammation by an impressive 45%. Then there's collagen, sourced from bone or chicken feet broth, which literally acts as the glue to rebuild muscle fibers and tendons. And finally, leucine. You'll find this in green tea and matcha, and it directly stimulates muscle protein synthesis.
To show you how this looks in the real world, let's take a look at Martha's 60-day plan. Martha was 74, she was struggling with constant fatigue, and she absolutely dreaded climbing stairs. She committed to consuming at least 25 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up. Her go-to breakfast was super simple: 2 scrambled eggs, a scoop of Greek yogurt, and a handful of pumpkin seeds. And the results? Within an astonishing 60 days, she was climbing those stairs without fear and walking her neighborhood again. It provided real, immediate fuel for her muscles.
And listen, when it comes to your morning beverage, researchers strongly suggest reconsidering that plain black coffee. Dr. Karen Fields, an expert in nutritional geriatrics, perfectly summarizes why. She says, coffee gives you stimulation, but leucine gives your muscles life. By swapping out standard coffee for an amino acid-rich tea, like the matcha or green tea we just mentioned, you're providing the absolutely critical building blocks your muscles desperately need to fight off sarcopenia all day long.
Section 3. Activating body and environment. Movement and sunlight.
Let's map out the ideal physical activation timeline. At minute 0, you wake up. By the 15-minute mark, getting direct sunlight exposure is absolutely crucial. Harvard endocrinologists note that morning sunlight activates the body's natural vitamin D production, which alone reduces fracture risk by over 40%. Then, around the 20-minute mark, you want to introduce brief bodyweight resistance exercises to spark that muscle synthesis.
So, let's break down exactly what those exercises look like, using a really practical routine from a 69-year-old named Linda in our source material. Step 1. Simply stand up and sit down from a chair 10 times. Step 2. Push against a wall for 60 seconds. Step 3. Step outside to let the sun hit your face and arms. The National Institute on Aging found that these simple actions, which take, maybe 5 minutes total, can increase muscle protein synthesis by more than 40%. That is a game changer.
Moving to Section 4, Mindset and Stress Reduction, Calming the Cortisol.
This is where things get really interesting because there is a surprising, very physical connection between your morning stress hormones and muscle deterioration. A landmark study out of Stanford University revealed that high cortisol levels in the morning actively promote muscle breakdown instead of repair. However, seniors who consistently practice stress reduction habits first thing in the morning lower their risk of sarcopenia by an incredible 32%. You can clearly see the impact of this through an anecdote from Margaret. She's a 75-year-old who struggled heavily with morning fatigue and stiff legs. She began a really simple 5-minute deep breathing and mindfulness practice every single morning. And her quote here is just fantastic. It's like my muscles wake up when I calm my mind. By calming her nervous system, she decreased the stress hormones that were breaking down her muscles and actually increased the flow of oxygen to them.
Section 5. The Power of Connection. Socializing for Strength.
Now, you might not think of socializing as a way to build physical strength, but research from the National Institute on Aging reveals something fascinating. Consistent morning social interaction lowers cortisol, boosts the bonding hormone oxytocin, and sets in motion neurological signals that directly support muscle coordination and balance. This simple act of human connection can reduce the risk of sarcopenia by up to 33%. It turns out that starting your day in total isolation actively accelerates aging at a cellular level. So how do we easily implement this? Well, here are some incredibly practical steps. Step 1. Call a friend or family member for just 3 to 5 minutes. Step 2. Wave or speak to a neighbor. Step 3. If you live with others, don't just pass each other silently in the hallway, share meaningful words with them over breakfast. Our source tells the wonderful story of Jane, whose balance tests improved dramatically at the doctor's office simply because a daily 5-minute morning phone call motivated her to get up and actually move her body more.
Finally, Section 6, starting your new routine one step at a time.
Look, perfection is absolutely not required here. You don't have to do all 10 habits tomorrow. You could prepare a protein-rich breakfast bowl, swap your coffee for a leucine-rich tea, do just 5 minutes of wall push-ups, practice deep breathing for 2 minutes, or maybe just call a loved one before 10 a.m. The source emphasizes that picking just 1 or 2 of these to start will immediately begin sending the build muscle signal to your body instead of the breakdown signal. And that brings us to the end of our explainer. We've seen how simple 30-second morning adjustments can fundamentally change how our bodies age, preserving our strength and ensuring lasting independence well into our later years. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought. Which habit will you start tomorrow? Remember, your future self, the one who walks with steady legs and total confidence, is counting on the choice you make today.